Hello. My name is Sally. I am an expert of English literature. I want to tell you a beautiful story about a young adventurer. Once upon a time, there was a young boy. His name was Mark, and he loved adventures and risks. His family were always trying to make him stop going on adventures because he could hurt himself, but Mark never cared about that. He was brave. One day, he decided to go on an adventure to a big forest that was near the place where he lived. He didn't tell anyone. He walked to the forest in the morning. That forest was known that there were dangerous animals in it. Mark knew that, but he loved risks, so he had no problem going there. When he reached the beginning of the forest, he looked around and didn't see any animal. So he went into the forest and continued looking around and enjoying the colors of the forest. Mark loved nature, so he lay on the green grass and looked up to the sky. He was enjoying that moment when he suddenly felt that something was watching him. He couldn't ignore that feeling, so he stood up and held a stick in his hand. Mark looked around and didn't see anything dangerous, so he lay back again on the grass. But unfortunately, there was something dangerous, but Mark didn't see it. And while he was lying, a black cheetah suddenly jumped and landed very close to Mark. Mark was smart and fast, so he got up quickly and started running in that forest. He was enjoying that moment though he was being followed by a black cheetah. He ran for a long distance, and luckily, the cheetah lost him and wasn't running behind him anymore. When Mark felt safe, he climbed a tree and sat on a thick branch to relax after all that running. He was sitting and lying his back on the body of the tree. He looked around and saw a group of monkeys. He didn't know what to do. Mark thought that if he moved, the monkeys would kill him, because they were dangerous monkeys. So he stayed sitting on the tree without moving or making noise. Luckily, the monkeys didn't see or feel him, so they went away after a few minutes. Mark was very grateful for this. He went down the tree and walked into the depth of the forest. He needed something to hide himself, so he grabbed a plant with big green leaves and held it in front of him. Then he continued walking and enjoying that forest. His family in the village were looking for him, and after several hours of searching, they didn't know where he was. They gathered together to think where he could be. And about 30 minutes later, they knew that there was only one possible thing, the forest. So they divided themselves into small groups and went to the forest after taking some weapons with them. Mark was enjoying his adventure in the forest, while his family were looking for him. Mark was walking in the forest, when he saw something very weird. He saw something shining behind a tree. He went to check that. He was so happy when he saw a box full of golden pieces. And because of the big happiness he felt, he was about to cry of happiness. Mark decided to take this box and hide it somewhere nobody knows except him. The box was heavy, so he decided to take the golden pieces. Mark put a few golden pieces in his pockets and took them to somewhere near his family house, but nobody knew about that place except him. Then he came back again and continued taking the golden pieces till the box was empty. So he took the box also. Mark was very happy, because he was wealthy, and he brought all the golden pieces to near his house. He went back home, but there was nobody at home except his mother. He asked her about what happened, and she was very worried about him. His family were looking for him in the forest, while he was sleeping at home. He slept because he was tired and knew that his family will come back in the morning. Luckily, Mark's family came back in the morning. They were very tired and sad, but when they saw Mark at home, they were very happy. They told him not to go anywhere without telling them. Mark went to the next village and hired a small car with a driver. He took the car to where the gold was and put all the golden pieces in the car. He went to the city, which was very far from the village. He sold the golden pieces and got money instead of them. He bought a new house and a beautiful car. He bought everything he wanted. But he had more money, so he gave some of it to his family, and saved the remaining part of money for himself. Mark was very happy. He built his own life in the city, and a few months later, he married a beautiful girl he loved, and lived happily. Also, his family were happy for him and for that they had money to buy what they wanted. I hope you enjoyed this story. To improve your English, speak, read and listen to it. Listen to our well-made stories to build up your English skills perfectly. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.